Chapter 12. Time of Knowledge. I stared at the book in my hands, second-guessing if it was real or not. A Vector Lulamoon journal, hidden right here in the castle walls. I quickly checked it, finding the same signature from different books containing information on the unicorn, confirming that it was in fact the real thing. After confirming this, I opened up the first page to find the journal number. Number 8. I knew there would be more, but we at least now knew there was at the very least 7 more to find. Turning to the next few pages, I found an abundance of research notes for what seemed to be ancient machines and spells. I couldn't exactly tell, considering most of the notes were written in some ancient language that perhaps Celestia and Luna could understand. If not them, then Twilight or one of the mages. Moving on, I found illustrations of my sun medallion on what seemed to be temple walls. I just stared in confusion. Yet another mystery to be solved. Hopefully it had something to do with the spell placed on me. Most of the other pages were schematics of temple structures and magical runes, a few blurred out written entries here and there. Near the middle, I stopped and looked at the 2 pages. One had a fully readable entry, the other was a folded piece of paper. I took the piece of paper in my hand, feeling drawn to it like I was drawn to the book before. Setting the journal down, I unfolded the paper, finding a line drawing of a map of Equestria with certain areas circled. I figured it was a map to other journal locations or possibly temple sites, but it was a lead nonetheless. I placed the map to the side before pulling the book closer to my face to make out the small writing.
Journal Entry 57. Work on the temples has progressed faster than any of us could have imagined. Why, I'd never guessed so many would have joined our cause. So many now have visions of the bipedal figure and the symbol of the sun. Our Minotaur Prince, Solid Will, has reported more and more vague visions from the dreams of his people's children. We don't know why they are increasing in number, but it's something that can be analyzed once the 4th temple is complete. We have found the necessary materials to make the 2nd and 3rd items requested to the blacksmith of the Order's Hotstrings clan. We must proceed with haste and find the 2 rings before we begin construction of the 5th temple. I don't want anything getting in the way of our work. Nothing.
While vague, it still gave me some information on my search and with my research on the cult and order. I had no idea what Vector had meant by items, but I had a feeling I'd learn more about that as I collected more journals. I continued reading through the book, finding more schematics and research notes, as well as a few blurred out entries. In 2 of the blurred entries, I managed to make out a name that was repeated frequently. Forge. I felt as if I should have known what that name was, but it just wasn't there. Leaving the confusion behind for a moment, I turned the pages and found a sketch of my medallion, with strange writing around it but in a different language. It was just written in the same style as I'd seen in the Slender Man games.
Don't let them take it. They must never know. What have we done?
This just confused me more. I knew Vector had split away from the cult and hid his research, but I didn't know why. Maybe he found something out that made him become paranoid? I'm not sure, yet again. More things to look into on this already crazy ride. I noticed the notes in writing were becoming progressively rushed and jagged, almost scribbled on. Before the notes became completely unreadable, I found one last intact entry.
Journal Entry 78. They don't know what's coming. They won't believe me if I tell them. They don't know that this is all just one big lie. We've made so many sacrifices, lost ponies and others to build the temple. How in Tartarus could we be so delusional? Celestia has stopped supporting us. She believes Nightmare Moon was the threat our vision spoke of, but no. I know that she wasn't. And so do the others. The others. I can't tell them about this. It will destroy all of them. I need to leave. I can't let them get to my notes. But I need to leave enough for him to find them. But how do I make sure he'll get to them and that they won't be taken by the others? I know of a few places. Some in Canterlot and such. I can't hide some there. The rest will stay with me. If they come after me, I'll burn the books before they can perform the rituals. I had more of the visions. Clearer visions. There's nothing to interpret from them. What I saw was clear as our precious day. This needs to end now. Priestess Holy Blue listened to me. She believed me. She's helping me escape. Without my work, it won't be long before the cult falls apart. The Order shall remain. They will no doubt seek out my research to complete their task. I must hide, must flee. This is for the best. It's the right thing to do. I'm sorry, everyone, but your lives have been wasted. I will not look back.
After that, the remaining pages were torn or filled with the writings of a maniac. My theory about him learning something was correct. It was just a matter of finding out what he saw or learned that caused him to slowly descend into madness. Any other questions I had could be asked when I had more information. I closed the book and grabbed the map before making my way out of the library and towards Celestia and Luna to see if they could make heads or tails of the schematics and other writings. As I clutched the book, I felt that presence again, this time strong. I continued walking until I came upon a cross-section in the hallway. Down one of these halls stood the humanoid figure, staring me down with anger clearly present. It seemed to have more defined features too, starting to be shaped into the body of a human. It just stared at me, unmoving, the air feeling cold along with his presence. I asked him what he was doing, but he didn't answer. After a few moments, he pointed to me, then to himself, before disappearing. I shook the feeling off. I needed to focus. I was still on a time limit, and every second counted.